How you doing, everybody? We are back again for more Toyota Sleeper Hilux goodness.
4/6 of a 2J right there. It even looks like one. I can't get over it. It just looks like if it was this long and had 6 cylinders. We don't need it because it also means we can fit a radiator in the front of this mad thing.
You know what's crazy? That's plastic.
What? It is too. It looks mad.
It looks great.
Looks so good.
There has been heaps of progress. Today is going to be a big day because, g'day Al.
Morning.
How are you, mate? The
Just
turbo.
no big deal. Just put the front of the turbo in.
Turbo is going on.
Look at that.
What other plans have you got today, Al?
Oh, look at it.
We've got radiator to go in, intercooler, piping, and fuel system, I think.
We actually have 3 radiators to go in because trying to get one that fits and has the correct locations for the ins and outs has been challenging.
Yeah, okay.
But luckily I spoke to my guy and he's like, I'll just send you 3, send me back the one that don't fit. It might be one from a Tirana.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Where's my nuts?
Yeah,
that'd be
your
awesome.
nuts are here, Alan.
I'm also going to finish sound deadening the interior, so that is a nice place to be, and cleaning up everything that is in there. I was going to be pulling the cluster out yesterday. That's going to be a today thing now. We think we're probably going to mount the battery in the cabin because we've got a little slimline like lithium battery. Which is over here. I think we showed you this last episode, so we have one of those. Do something like mount that back in here so that when Dave comes down, and he will be here later, then we can talk about running that. Marty's going to run us through the fuel system. Other than that, it's just lots of little fiddly things.
Fiddly jobs now.
But this is going to take us kind of all the way, I hope, to close near the end of this project.
We're going to start it in this video.
Are we?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Dude,
no idea.
Dude, that's
it's
very,
missing
very
a bit of stuff. But yeah, we'll try and get the radiator in, fuel system in, everything mounted up. And there's a bit of fabrication still to do. There's a front mount to go in. There's pipes to make. The dump's done. Yeah. Front mount on an old Hilux is pretty exciting.
The big jobs that still need to be done is obviously wiring, which is wiring by Dave. Exhaust, where we'll get Chris to do that. So there are still a number of tasks to do, and then we will just Lego it back together. So anyway, let's kick on.
Right, time for fuel system. Now you saw the hanger that we put in, a very, very nifty piece of kit when you're upgrading an old car to new world high pressure fuel systems. The pump we put in is I want to say 460 litres per hour, so that's good for up to, gosh, nearly 400 kilowatts, probably in the right system, particularly if your lines are a decent size. And this is AN braid. This is like a 200 series hose, which means it's Teflon. Kind of looks like just plastic, but it's covered in a stainless steel and then a fabric. Really nice way to do it. A little bit tricky to work with, a bit stabby. Anyone who's done it before will know. But these are also full flow fittings there as well. So it turns a corner, you still get really good flow through there. The reason we've done that is we can kind of Lego this whole thing together. Now we've got to go pump. The next stage for the fuel system is a filter, which we've got here. This is actually a leftover one from when we did the FDRX7. Found it in a bucket and went, that'll work nicely. So there's a big filter in there. Being that it's a ute, there's lots of room to mount this kind of thing up under the rail. So we'll find a spot to mount that. That plugs in, then out we come this side. Yep, outlet from that side, and we'll then go up into the fuel rail where the injectors are. It's already got 1000cc injectors in there, which is plenty for this. It also means we can run ethanol. Once we're in the rail, we come out of the rail, and at that point, we need to regulate the pressure, and we do that with a fuel pressure regulator. This is a GFB one. This is an FXR. They have a couple of different sizes. This is about right for our power level, and also really nice little thing there. Really easy to mount because it's not too big. We also then have fittings, which you can get from GFB as well. These are ORB to -6, so that's -6 there. That will screw straight in. Seals up really nicely. The fittings go into the side there, and then you've also got a port there, which is BSP, and that's the thread for things like gauges. So if you like to look at it with an old school gauge, you can do it that way. GFB also make on that you can get, so that screws in. You can just set your fuel pressure and leave it alone. Or potentially you can also put a fuel pressure sensor in there and send that into the ECU. We may do either. Sometimes you do both if you want to be able to just look at it, but also be able to have a pressure. There's 2 ports on there, so very easy to do. So pressure will come, fuel will come out of the rail once it's been through the injectors into the side of here. We then set the pressure and the return comes out the bottom, out through another fitting, which screws into there, back into here. Then we go through our flex sensor, because we don't need to use the high pressure fuel for that flex sensor, and then back into the tank. And it just drops back into the tank. There's no fanciness there to return it. Now it's worth mentioning, this fuel tank being an old school tank is not baffled. So if you're going to do skids and launches and stuff like that, it's a good idea to have a full tank of fuel. That's something you notice when you look at it. Otherwise, you would take the tank out, rip it to pieces, put baffles. If you're making a race ute, that's maybe something you would do. But a really solid fuel system that will support Dash 6 stuff like this will support big power. The Levorg had, I think, stuff like this, and it did 400 and something kilowatts. So you can go higher depending on how much pressure you set. But this is a really nice, easy way to do it, and you can do all this at home / in your shed.
The GFB fuel pressure regulator is the key component to making this all work. We can install a gauge or sensor in it to monitor pressure and of course adjust our base pressure. Plus it will increase fuel pressure at the back of the injector at a 1:1 ratio as it sees boost. And while I'm installing it, Al is working some turbo magic, clocking everything to the correct position so the oil and water systems will all fit.
So when you're looking for rattles, you also want to make sure that other than the sound dampening and kind of covering the inside of the skin, you can hear already how much better that is. But you also want to have a look at what other components of the door might be making noise. Like what we can see straight away from this is this that goes from the door handle. Listen to this. And you can see where it's been bashing on that. So that's going to cause you lots of rattles as well. So you can put some sound dampening underneath that, some foam as well, which is going to stop that sound. But what you can also do while everything's pulled apart is just make sure everything's tight. So you can literally just go around, that's already fine, that's already fine, that one's loose, very, very loose. So yeah, that there is going to make sure that everything is, that one's loose as well. Everything's nice and tight, and it just means that it saves you having to get in there and check everything again once it's all done. So this one here is almost done, and then I'm going to clean up the interior, put the door cards back on. I'm not going to put the carpet back in yet because we still need to run some wiring and stuff in there as well, but this can be finished, and then I will move on to doing sound deadening inside, and should be a really nice place to be. And then I'll move on to removing the cluster. People, I've seen the comments. Do you know what one of the most commented things is about this car so far, Al? It's under here.
Oh, the poo mark.
It's that I haven't cleaned that yet. So I'm thinking of putting clear coat over the top of it and just leave it there as a signature item, or I'll actually clean it up. Al, let's get an update of what's been going on, because there's all sorts of fun activities happening over here. Flex fuel sensor has just gone in. Phoenix radiator has gone in. What else is going on?
I've been battling with this turbocharger for a little bit because it's in quite a tight space, which is pretty much the story of my life. But yeah, I think I've got it sorted now. We've just got another master cylinder coming that's just got the outlets on the opposite side and is a bit bigger. So it's a 25mm bore, which will suit the braking system that we're going to use. Yep. And obviously the outlets are on this side, which is pretty tight. Obviously needs some heat management, but I'm going to leave that to probably Martin because he loves that stuff.
I love it. Thanks for leaving me with that fun job, Alan. Appreciate it.
Good on Martin. What would we do without Martin?
Yes, true. And now we're just going to have a little fiddle with these intercooler fitment.
Yep.
And try and figure out whether we need a very large reverse cowl or not.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Is this car a four-wheel drive technically? Even though it's two-wheel drive, Martin, is this car technically within the four-wheel drive world?
I mean, Hiluxes are known as being one of the best four-wheel drives literally ever made.
Yeah.
These are those, like, wasn't the theme song Unbreakable? Didn't Top Gear try and kill one and couldn't kill it? Wasn't that a Hilux? Like, That's what they're known for. The Marty McFly four-wheel drive was like the one after this, wasn't it?
Yes.
That famous black one from Back to the Future that everyone wanted?
Yes.
Dude, that's...
You've built lots of four-wheel drives, haven't you?
I have.
You've built ones with truck engines in them?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
A couple, I thought it was one.
Couple of different truck engines. Yeah.
Duramax, Cummins, what else?
I've done a couple of TD42s as well, just for the, hell of it.
Just cause.
So if you're going to go four-wheel driving, because you've seen these cars intimately now, if you're going to go four-wheel driving, what kind of car are you taking?
I like Patrols because the chassis works good, but nothing else does. So that's why I'm always putting different engines in it. So you can't win really, because Land Cruisers have got good engines, but the rest of it's not very good.
Okay.
And it's pretty much the opposite with Patrols. But,
Right.
Hiluxes, I don't know. If you want to get stuck, I suppose is a good thing.
What did we see this morning? A Rogue.
Oh yeah, Rogue.
We saw a Rogue.
Very
Hilux Rogue.
Oh, right. Oh, that's the special one, isn't it? It's got nothing on this. I don't know. I don't actually care. You prefer two wheels on the dirt anyway, like me, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're not out four-wheel driving and like watching four-wheel drive channels and stuff?
No, not at all.
He prefers squirting the dirt.
Yeah, I prefer to leave my phone in the car and just disappear for a few hours with zero reception, no tools, no nothing.
That's your thing too, isn't it? You love that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you love it.
Other than when you're repairing your motorcycle, of
I
course.
never repair my motorcycle because I bought a new one.
Oh, cool. Inside, I'm about to rip some stuff out. I've been finding lots of this stuff on the ground, and I didn't know what it was. It was a little bit of a mystery. But what I've since found out, if you poke the camera in here, it's all of this. It's this trim here is all just falling apart. Look at this. I'm actually just going to remove it and just clean this up, maybe give it a little polish because
It's fine.
You right?
Never mind.
Because it looks like arse. And then I'm going to pull the cluster out, like I've been saying so many times for the last few days, but now it's actually happening. After a quick online investigation, trying to find these trims is not going to be quick or easy, so what's left of them is going in the bin. I'm going to give the paint underneath it a clean and a polish, and then move on to giving the door cards and seats a proper clean before they can go back in the car. While the interior's been getting cleaned up, Alan's been working on fitting our new front-mounted intercooler. We don't need anything massive here, so something nice and simple like this will work perfectly well while still fitting in and around the rest of the car. This project is meant to be a sleeper, so I don't want a massive cooler hanging out from underneath the bumper, shouting out to the world that they're about to get chopped by a Hilux.
We are up to a fun and exciting part of the build. Alan's got to go back to Queensland shortly because he has lots of other things to work on that aren't Hiluxes, and this is an intercooler pipe. I love this bit. I also love doing this bit around Alan because his brain just works in an incredible way. So we worked out we're going to have some mad bonnet clearance issues. So we put the bonnet on, it hit on the oil cap, it hit on the throttle body, it was going to ruin everything. And then two clever things happened. Let's have a look. I'm going to show you the first one. Al worked out if we go backwards instead of forwards and just come around, we have all the bonnet clearance we need back here because this is quite deep. But the next problem was the oil cap because it's by far the highest point. So he just ground that off, and now it clears perfectly. And we want as few welds as possible doing this bit.
Always.
Why?
Everything needs to be as few welds as possible.
Why?
Because welds are the bit that breaks. Welds are the bit that takes time.
Takes time, takes resources, takes welding gas, takes everything. So it looks like we'll be able to use this, which was just a 180 that I cut a little bit off the end, all in 2.5 inch pipe. It looks kind of nice as well. So we're thinking if we put a silicone there, and jam that in, we should get pretty close to being able to just join them up with one weld like that. That looks freaking excellent. Unconventional because it kind of goes around, but it fits, and that's what matters. Because otherwise we would have had to relocate.
Yeah, the other option was like actually putting flange on there and moving the throttle body sort of over here or something like that so it clears, which would have been a lot of work because you got to cut flanges.
Or a $22 piece of aluminium pipe.
Or turn that thing around backwards. That also works.
So pretty happy with that. So yeah, we'll buzz that together, and that's the cold side done. Then we just got a bit of 2-inch to do on the hot side, and cooler pipes are pretty much in place. And that's about as far as we'll probably get with Alan. And then we're on our own until he comes back. I hope he comes back. Here's the old brake master cylinder. You might notice a problem there. There's a massive, although not that massive, turbo in the way. We can't get our brake lines out. This is the original one. So we went to the parts shop, and Alan, with his cleverness, worked out that this one, which is we think is off a Land Cruiser or something, is the same bore, so give us the same braking performance. There's a nice low profile reservoir, and what do you notice about this one? Not only does it bolt straight on because Toyota Lego, the ports are on the opposite side, which is freaking awesome. So we can go into a proportioning valve. We've got a brake upgrade kit on the way, so we'll be able to use the right proportioning valve, get that balance right between front and back, because it is a disc brake conversion. This will mean we have excellent brake pedal. We just bolt it on, and away we go, all the way out of the turbo. So clever, and all factory parts. Great success today. We have fabricated a whole bunch of stuff. I say we, it's mostly Al, but I did help, and I found all the pipes, so I feel like I've contributed. We've put all these silicons and aluminium in here. It looks really, really nice. It's out of the way of everything. You kind of need that in place before you know where other things go. So we ordered some heater hoses, but we don't even know if they're going to fit yet, because now it's intercooler pipes, and then there'll be a radiator, and then there'll be something.
It looked like such a generous amount of space in the engine bay until you got to start orient piping and stuff in there and kind of do things like this so that it fits instead of this way, because it fits one way and not the other way. Looks amazing though.
It's so cool, man.
Looks incredible.
It's so cool.
Is the love strong for Toyota with you, Alan?
I just like that valve cover.
The plastic red valve cover.
So good.
It is very, very good.
Kudos to whoever did that.
Yes, good job. I mean, look, yeah, I do want to give a quick shout out again to the guys down at GEM who originally put this engine together. I think they said 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm glad that even though whoever originally ordered to have it built didn't go through with it, I'm glad that we ended up being able to use it, which is really cool.
So pretty much now, like the idea was to get it all fabricated while Al was here, which we've pretty much done. The radiator needs a few little mods to fit now. The intercooler pipes are in there. And then we plumb it up. And then it's kind of moving on to wiring and moving on to fluids. But before we can do that, we're probably going to look at getting a tail shaft made.
Yeah, and also we're still waiting on our brakes to arrive as well. So that's going to be a big job as well. So, but these are things that we will have to tackle separately because our talented friend is jumping on a plane and flying back home. Thank you very much, Al. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was good fun.
Excellent. Well,
Got
thanks
heaps done.
Great success, as they
Achieved
say.
heaps. As always, every time Alan's here, we get so much done. Thanks, man.
Are you coming back?
Possibly.
Hope so.
Okay, I hope
I
so
hope so.
as well. Awesome. All right, let's kick on.
Bringing our fuel system nearly half a century into the future requires some custom bits, namely Teflon hose and AN fittings, which is by far the easiest and most robust method. Hard lines are also an option if you prefer to bend them up. This run is pretty short from the tank to the engine. For the feed line, it will go into a fuel filter and then up into the rail. Once it's been past the injectors, it will flow to the regulator, which will hold the pressure consistently in that part of the fuel circuit. From there, we're draining back to the tank via our Haltech Flex fuel sensor, which will constantly monitor the ethanol content, meaning we can run E85 or any blend of petrol and ethanol that we want to tune the engine for. Our radiator hoses have arrived, and luckily for us, the originals that are made for this exact engine happen to fit our old chassis and radiator perfectly. Next up, Benny is going to make some custom brake hardlines. This can be a daunting job the first time, but with the right equipment, it's achievable. He's making lines from our Land Cruiser Brake Master cylinder to both the front and rear brakes, as well as a clutch hardline to go to the slave cylinder. What's unique about this car is that the chassis and cab are separate, with different braking components attached to each part. He's making a coiled line which allows a small amount of movement between the two. A jack handle is perfect for shaping the lines, which now look much like the original ones, only now they'll work with our big brake upgrade kit. With all the plumbing done, it's time to attach the rear tub back to the chassis. Because we've installed a different engine and gearbox to this car, the original tail shaft will no longer work. The original diff is pretty tough, so to make those together, we've gone to visit the guys at Propeller Shaft Services. While it is sometimes possible to modify the old shaft with the correct spline count to match the new gearbox, we've chosen to make a new one from scratch, so we don't risk blowing it up with our boosted engine. That means new centre bearing, new uni joints, and freshly balanced. This is a combination of art and science and fabrication, and the balancing part is extremely important to make sure we have no vibrations or excess wear. And after all that work, we're left with a handmade, precision-tested tail shaft that should bolt directly back into our Hilux, and it is the missing link between the new engine and gearbox and the original rear end.
Have you ever heard that saying, it takes a village to raise a child? Well, it turns out it also takes a village of freaking legends to build a car. You start off thinking, yeah, I'll just throw an engine into this Hilux, turbocharge it, and we'll be done by the end of the weekend. But before you know it, your garage is a disaster zone, your sink is full of rusty parts, and there's a team of mates turning up to help you out and eat all of your snacks. There's those friends that are skilled behind the flaming arc of a welder, and then there's those that know a thing or two about brakes and electronics. And then there's the guys that are experts on making tail shafts like these legends. I mean, just look at the process and the countless hours of experience and expertise that's required to make a spinning piece of metal. It's freaking crazy. Look, I know this Hilux is a lot of work, and I know a Tesla would probably be faster and more reliable, but I just don't think that many mates are going to be hanging around to watch me plug a Tesla into the wall and watch it charge. It's just a bit boring, even though of course they'd probably still turn up to eat my snacks. So yes, it takes a village to build a car. And along the way, hopefully you share some pretty cool stories and memories that you'll be able to talk about for years to come with your village of very talented legends. It's time for our tail shaft to go in, which is very exciting. I'd also mentioned in previous episodes that we were trying to make one day of work, one episode. That is now not the case anymore. As is with these builds, it kind of takes the last 80% of time to do 20% of the work, because it slows down like a house, you know, your frame goes up in a day or two, but it takes another like 8 months to actually do all of the fiddly stuff.
Correct.
We're now in the fiddle zone, aren't we, Martin?
Hard in the fiddle zone, but there's also like a lot to be learned in the fiddle zone. You can make stuff. This is Australian made, which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
Made down in Condell Park, and that should just go, I might have to go
Out and around first.
look at, oh dude, look at that.
It's fantastic. All right.
Beautiful.
There's a bolt.
Bolt for the thing.
Stick that one through.
Centre bearing.
We'll get this one here through. This is very exciting, Martin. There's the other one. And I've got a bolt down here. And hopefully, hopefully if I measured it correctly, this here all lines up as it should. And Martin,
Oh, it does.
It's
It's
looking
beautiful.
good.
Look at it.
look at that.
I don't know. When your car's got a custom tail shaft, it means there's some cool stuff going on.
There's
'Cause
all sorts of cool stuff going on, man.
unnecessary with an engine conversion.
And that one into there.
Fantastic.
Gonna hold that in. Wow. Well,
That's proper.
we used a Mighty Car Mods measuring tape. We measured some things, and then an Australian company made this mad shaft, which now gets power come from a turbocharged engine going through this gearbox down into our diff, and then the rear wheels drive you along.
Magical.
How good is that?
That's so good. I love it. I don't know. I think it's having a custom one of these is so mad. And a two-piece is nice too. Like it should actually work pretty well because this hasn't really changed. Like this part hasn't really changed.
Yes.
But it's all new. So all the unis, everything is brand new shaft because the old one, 40-something, 50 years
Yep.
old, whatever it is.
That's amazing. So good. I'm loving it, people. I'm excited. But yes, it is. It's definitely slowing down in terms of how much gets done, but we are not slowing down with our enthusiasm and intensity of getting this thing finished.
Correct.
It's funny, you know, you do the engine conversion, which we've now done, and you're like, that's the job. There's actually so much more to do. Haven't even started really on the wiring yet. The brake kit that we've got coming hasn't arrived yet. Exhaust still has to be made.
Which we'll be making here.
Which we're going to be making here. It's got to be tuned. I mean, there's so much to do, but we are getting there, people. This is going to be absolutely amazing.